Hello, all the peeps from the internet. Welcome back to my channel. Today I would like to share with you interesting facts about Australia that you might not know. Australia has the oldest surviving civilization. The Aboriginal people, the indigenous people of Australia, settled on the land 50,000 years before the British people even arrived. Other countries might have had older civilizations, but they are no longer around. Australia is the only Western country that doesn't have a Bill of Rights. In Australia, there is a mountain called Mount Disappointment. Apparently, the view was so disappointing that there was no better name for it. Australia does not have Burger King at all. In Australia, the fast food chain is known as Hungry Jack's. Australia was the second country in the world to give women the right to vote, way back in 1902. Kangaroo meat is widely available in supermarkets, and it is much healthier than other meats. It usually contains only around 1 to 2% of fat. Ugg boots originated in Australia. One of the founders of Melbourne City was John Batman. Before they actually named the city Melbourne, it was known as Batmania. Australia is the only continent in the world where you can't find any active volcanoes. A lot of famous actors and actresses were born in Australia, but one that is often confused with the Australian natives is Russell Crowe. He was actually born in New Zealand, not in Australia. He moved to Australia with his parents when he was 4 years old. The Australian coat of arms features the kangaroo and the emu, not only because they are national symbols representing Australia, but it represents the nation going forward, as neither the emu or the kangaroo is capable of walking backwards. The cleanest air and water on earth can be found in Tasmania. The world's longest golf course can be found in Australia. It is approximately 850 miles long. There are only 2 mammals in the world that lay eggs, and both of them are found in Australia. One is the platypus and the other is the echidna. Australia is huge. If you overlay it over North America, it is approximately the same size. When we think of the Middle East, we often imagine deserts, lots of sand, camels. Interesting fact about Australia: most of the camels in Saudi Arabia are imported from Australia, and they also export sand to the Middle East, as the desert sand found there is not very useful for things like sandblasting or pressure cleaning. The world's oldest fossils were found in Australia. In 1956, scientists discovered a lot of stromatolite fossils in Shark Bay in abundance. These are the oldest fossils that have ever been located. The largest cattle farm in the world can be found in Australia. Anna Creek Station is about 2.4 million hectares in size. That makes it approximately the same size as the country Rwanda. It's home to around 9,500 cows. The most famous landmark, the Sydney Opera House, was inspired by an orange. It was designed by architect John Urtson. He said that he came up with the idea while he was peeling an orange. If all the different pieces or sails of the opera house are put together, it creates a sphere. Australia has the world's safest airline. Qantas Airlines leads almost every other country as far as safety goes. And in the past 60 years, they have not had a fatality. We all know the animals in Australia are some of the weirdest or scariest on earth. Australia, for example, is home to 21 of the world's 25 most venomous snakes. Most people know that the Great Barrier Reef is seen as the planet's largest living structure, but few people know that it actually has its own PO box. Australia's capital city, Canberra, comes from an Aboriginal word which means women's cleavage. The reason for that is because it was nestled between 2 mountains. Most people think that Uluru Rock is the biggest rock in the world, but Mount Augustus in Western Australia is almost twice the size. A cute fact: the wombat found in Australia poops little squares. When a baby kangaroo is born, it's only 2 centimeters long. An Australian once tried to sell New Zealand on eBay. He started the price at 1 cent. In Western Australia, there's a number of pink lakes. One example is Lake Hillier. Australia's richest woman is Gina Rinehart. Every 2 hours, her wealth increases by $1 million. Approximately 1/3 of Australians were born in another country, and approximately 1/5 of the inhabitants don't even speak English at home. I hope you found these facts interesting. Have a nice day. See you in the next video.